Hey guys, Coach Sam here, coming at you live from my home basement gym. And today is Thursday, February 1st, 2024, and we're going to be talking to you about shoulder day. So, guys, for shoulder day, don't sleep on it because having wide cap delts can really help build out not only your physique, but also help you get that stronger V taper look where the wider your shoulders are, really you can have a slim or a not slim waistline, but a wider shoulder look will help you ultimately have that V taper look to give you the athletic aesthetic look that a lot of us are looking for with the hypertrophy style training. So we're going to start you off today with our upper body dumbbell complex warm up. So what this is, it's 2 rounds with about a 60-second rest in between, with 50 reps going from a dumbbell RDL to a bent over row to dumbbell high pulls to some double arm bicep curls and to some double dumbbell overhead presses. So I want you guys to pick a weight that's going to allow you to conduct this entire complex unbroken, but it's not going to overly fatigue you prior to getting into the main work of the day. We do want this to get you nice, hot, and heavy prior to our first heavy mechanical loading movement, which is going to be the push press. So with the push press, we're going to be building up over 4 sets to a top set of 6. And pay attention to that RPE, or rate of perceived exertion scale. For those of you guys on SugarWOD, you can review the RPE scale at the very top of the training day. If you're on Train Heroic, under the coach's instructions at the top of the training day, you'll find a link to a Google Doc that explains the RPEs. But guys, pay attention to those because remember, we're asking you to build to a top set of 6 over 4 sets in decreasing rep ranges to where that top set of 6 should be at an RPE 10, or you start having some mechanical breakdown and you're not able to complete another rep. So on this push press, some points of performance, make sure that you've got a good base for your feet, roughly shoulder width apart. And then on that dip, make sure that you're driving down through your heels and then driving up explosively and then finishing that pressing movement at the top. And once you finish that pressing movement, you want to have the weight stacked over the top of your body and try to avoid any lumbar hyperextension of the back. We want these reps to be nice and pretty. And if going too heavy causes you to have any hyperextension issues, feel free to either lighten the load, and if also you're not comfortable doing a push press, you can substitute a strict or a seated shoulder press as well. So moving on from there, we've got some nasty concentration work today in our Arnold Press Anarchy straight bar high pull giant sets. So guys, make sure you're reading this complex carefully and also watch the demo video if this is the first time you're doing this. So let's break this down a little bit. So we're going to have multiple moving parts inside of this one giant set. So one set is going to be 15 dumbbell or kettlebell Arnold presses, where you're taking the dumbbells and you're bringing them in, trying to touch your pinkies together, rotating out and coming out to the top. After you complete 15 Arnold presses, you're going to complete 15 in and outs, which is just the first part of the Arnold press here. And as soon as you conclude the in and outs, you're going to conduct max neutral grip dumbbell shoulder presses to failure. And that's very important, as you want you to be able to go all the way until you can't squeeze out another rep. And then from there, you're going to immediately drop the dumbbells and you're going to move on to an empty barbell, and you're going to conduct 15 snatch grip high pulls immediately into 15 narrow grip high pulls. So we've got 5 different movements here. That's in one giant set. So a couple of setup options for you guys here. I personally like doing the Arnold presses against a seated upright bench for stability purposes. If you don't have access to one of those, it's perfectly fine. You can do one seated on a box or seated on a flat bench like I have right here. Or if you have the ability and have the space, you can prop your back up against one of these uprights here seated on the floor. And that will also give you some stability for that initial Arnold press in and out neutral shoulder grip complex. Now, for loading starting weights, take a look at the notes here. Start a little bit lighter than you think, because once you finish those 15 Arnold presses and the 15 in and outs, your shoulders should be screaming for you to drop the weight. But I want it to be light enough to where you can immediately go into those neutral grip presses and try to get anywhere from about 5 to 10 plus if you have the ability to those neutral grip presses. But we don't want it to be so heavy where you have to take a break in the middle of the complex. All right, guys. So moving on from there, we've got 4 sets of 20 heavy barbell shrugs. So For this, pretty straightforward. You guys can take the barbell from the floor into the deadlift position upright. Definitely try to use some straps here, guys. Whether you have weightlifting straps or my personal favorite are Versa grips, VERSA Versa grips. You can find those online or on Amazon as well. You're building to a top set of 20 reps across 4 sets here, so don't feel like every single set needs to be maximal effort. But set 3 and 4, we want to get you kind of cashed out on that set of 20 there. And if you don't have enough plates to make this to load this heavy enough, you can also substitute a kettlebell or a dumbbell shrug, which in and of itself is a pretty taxing movement when you get heavy enough on the dumbbells or the kettlebells. And then also, if you have a hex bar, you can also try loading this in a hex bar, which allows you to stand in the middle of the barbell and have your arms out to your sides, conducting the shrugs that way versus a barbell in front of you. So just something to consider as an alternative to a traditional barbell shrug. Now, moving on to our final metabolic stress movement of the day. This is a really nasty shoulder finisher complex. It's called the dumbbell side to front raise complex. And so we're going to be doing 15 reps. And 1 rep is you're going to conduct a side lateral raise. You're going to bring the dumbbells forward to face height. You're going to slowly control the dumbbells down to your waist. Then you're going to bring the dumbbells back up. You're going to bring the dumbbells out to the sides, and then you're going to slowly lower them back down. That is 1 rep. You're going to do that 15 times for 1 set, and you're going to do 3 total sets of this. So this is going to have a lot of lactate buildup here in your shoulders. So keep in mind all the weight requirements probably pretty light here. Some people we may find ourselves using like change or chip plates versus even dumbbells to conduct this complex, because I want you to get maximum metabolic stress in this. So don't go too heavy where you start getting too fatigued at reps 7 and 8 halfway through. I have to set them down. I really want reps from 12 to 15 to really to have that good deep burn, because that's where we're going to see some of those growth factors come into play. So once we complete our hypertrophy training for the day, we have our conditioning options here. We've got our optional CrossFit workout. You have some grunt work and some energy system development. And then, as always, you have your optional core work and your Thunder Broga. And for those folks that are in our 30-day shred, make sure you're hitting your our core and fasted cardio work, depletion workouts in the mornings. And please make sure you're checking in the 30-day shred group. And as always, you have questions, comments, concerns, please post them in our Thunderbro family group. And if you guys are on Instagram at all, please tag us in your videos. We love to see them. And as always, bring Thunder and see you guys out there.